So the AFC playoff picture is set in stone, and here are my wildcard predictions. Starting off with the 2-7 matchup, you have the Buffalo Bills going up against the Denver Broncos. And even as a Broncos fan, I do have to admit, I do understand the disappointment of not having that Bills versus Bengals, Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow matchup in the first round. That definitely was a loss. But I think that this is going to be a really great learning experience for Denver itself. I do feel that they are a couple of years away. They don't quite have the weapons. The defense has been lacking over the past couple of games, letting up a lot of points. And that number 2 cornerback spot next to Patrick Surtain has been getting pretty exposed, especially with Riley Moss coming off of injury. And when you look at the fact that Josh Allen is, like I said, having an MVP type season, the fact that he has multiple weapons now like Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, he has James Cook in the background. Buffalo's really well coached. It's going to be Bo Nix's first time within the playoffs. This is a pretty easy one. Buffalo's going to take it. I have it 35-10. But don't be surprised if Denver fights on early, ends up getting blown out at the end. But I think it's going to be a good learning experience for them. Next, we have the 3-6 matchup. We have the Ravens going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think if we're all being honest, we've seen this story before. Yes, I understand that these two teams split within the regular season, but Baltimore is just simply the better team here. I think that their pass rush is going to give the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line some issues. The Steelers offense as a whole is just super flat. I saw so many times in their previous game where Arthur Smith calls 2 straight inside zone run plays, goes for 2 or 4 yards together, and then they end up just throwing a vertical pass to or a go route to George Pickens down the left sideline. I mean, they did it over and over. It is super flat. They don't have enough weapons. And I think that this is going to be a huge wake-up call to Steelers management to potentially think about firing Mike Tomlin because he just has not been getting it done in the big time. This was 3 or 4 straight losses for them down the stretch in the regular season, and they're going to once again lose to this division rival. If I had to call it, I'd say a pretty similar story. I think it's going to be a pretty big statement by Baltimore. I'm going to call it 42-14. And finally, what I believe is going to be the most entertaining matchup, the 4 Texans against the 5 Los Angeles Chargers. And once again, the playoffs sometimes just comes down to the pure momentum heading into the week. And the fact of the matter is, the Houston Texans have not been playing great football. The Los Angeles Chargers have. They've had 2 big-time wins these past 2 weeks. Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh are looking pretty much as comfortable as they could be. Once again, I think that having a solid offensive line is really going to help them out despite their lack of weapons. CJ Stroud has not had a great season this year whatsoever. The defense has kind of plateaued out. They're dealing with injuries. Overall, everything is swinging into LA's favor. I think that Jim Harbaugh comes back and he gets his first playoff win back into the NFL with his brand new team. Justin Herbert gets his first playoff win. Let me know what you guys think about this. What are your predictions for the AFC Wildcard, and who are your Super Bowl predictions? By the way, pretty close. Chargers 28-21. Forgot to mention that.